Hi, I'm Adam Simmons of Project Geospatial, and I'm here at the 2024 GEOINT Symposium in Orlando, Florida. And in this segment, I have the pleasure of talking with Kate and Hayden of CompassCom and Compass Data. Do I have that right?
Correct.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first off, we're going to have you both introduce yourselves. Quickly within your introduction, just tell me a little bit how you got involved with the industry. We'll start with you, Kate.
Awesome. My name is Kate Schlatter, and CompassCom and Compass Data. I'm the CEO. We've been in business for over 30 years. It's a small family-owned woman-owned business. We are out of Denver, Colorado, and I've been in the business for 24 years now.
That's amazing. How about yourself, Hayden?
Yeah, so Hayden Howard, Executive Vice President of Compass Data. I've been in the business full-time for about 20 years. Spent a lot of time in the field. As I was growing up, went to school and got a planning GIS degree with an area of emphasis on aviation and meteorology.
Awesome. And then how did these companies come together in terms of how did you start both these companies off from your backgrounds?
So it's a family-owned business, and our father, Brant Howard, was in a manufacturer's rep, electrical manufacturer's rep business, and got into the geospatial industry in the early 90s. From there, started CompassCom, which housed all of our technologies. In 2004, the company split to Compass Data and CompassCom Software to focus on a little bit of a different solution for our customers. So they're still all owned and operated by the Howard family. And yes, that's how we got in early.
Well, great. Well, let's dive in to talk about each one of these different companies, right? And so one of them, let's start with CompassCom. What does CompassCom do? What do they focus on?
So CompassCom is a software company. We have real-time telematics tracking of assets, any sort of public safety, public works, vehicles, snowplows, and then also radios for security and defense.
This is telematics. We're talking about GPS trackers on each of the vehicles, so you can track supply chain. Is that it, or other types of vehicles moving across?
Correct. Vehicles and assets.
Okay.
Radios mostly.
And how expansive is that across your the country,
Yep.
International?
Yes.
Okay.
Some international, but yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. So do you manage the software that tracks all these assets?
Yes, we developed it and manage it. Yes, we have an on-prem and a cloud solution. Some of our customers require on-prem, so we still support that as well.
And I think it's a natural question to talk about Compass Data, right? So
Yeah.
do you deal with the same data that gets pushed through that software?
So on the data side, I guess the way we would synergistically be working with CompassCom, our sister company, is that we bring data into a base map, right? So with CompassCom, mobile resource management, asset management, it's basically a dashboard where you can do reporting and see draw a geofence to see if somebody went into an area and it alerts you, that kind of stuff. But for some of the customers on the comm side, especially when you do like the on-prem solution where we build a server and bring it to them, they might not have a base map to put behind the moving assets, right? So in that case, that's where Compass Data would come in, and this isn't like Compass Data's main offering, but it is something that we do to support CompassCom, where we could bring in a base map for example, Mexico, or for a refinery, or for an oil basin, or for an entire state for a DOT department that has the CompassCom solution. There's a chance that they do have data, but getting to that GIS data through the people that are running the asset management software might not be there, so that's where data would come in on the comm side. Outside of that, on the data side, we're probably best known for our ground control point archive. So we started collecting control points back in the 90s for companies in Colorado because it's where we started. So Orb Image, which is now Maxar, Vexel, which is Vexel again, aerial imagery company. And when we started doing that, we said, hey, we're going to license this data to you instead of just sell point by point. And so since then, we've gone around the world and surveyed control points, put them into our database, which is standardized. It's ISO compliant, FAA compliant for a certification that we have there as well. And this database is just built up over the years to 75,000 points.
So explain to me what a ground control point is for you,
Sure.
for those who might not know.
Yeah, so what we do is we go out in the field, terrestrial survey, right? GPS on the corner of something that's photo identifiable. So we set up on something that you can see from an image, whether it be from space, aerial, drone, mobile. We find something with high contrast that you could pick out in a pixel. Okay, so we set up on this feature, we put our GPS out, and then we use some kind of correction source, whether we stand there for 2 hours in some really remote part of Russia or something, or if we're right here in Orlando and we have a real-time correction we set up and we're there for much less time because of the correction source.
And this is these ground control points is something that either satellite or aerial providers can use to either orthorectify or make more accurate their imagery systems.
Correct. Yeah, you can use them for rectification, verification. Right. We do a lot of stuff for both sides of that.
Great.
So we'll be on a team, for example, for federal work where we go and survey a lot of points in an area, and they use it to verify the accuracy of that data so that it meets the standards of the customer.
Okay. So circling back to the GEOINT Symposium here, can you talk about how both of your companies, we'll start with you, Kate, relate and overlap with this community? Is your software marketed to the defense and intel side? Is there a huge interest in that here? Is that
Yes.
where you found value?
Yes, CompassCom software is all about safety and accountability. So
Okay.
anytime we can provide a solution for our customers or our partners that enhances their safety and communication between anybody in the field, that's our focus.
Awesome. And on the data side?
Yeah, on the data side, this database that we have is really unique, and GEOINT, Geospatial, right? A lot of that optical imagery, making different data sets more accurate. So with that database that we have, it's very valuable to this group.
Is this something that the bulk of the satellite providers jump all over in terms of helping them?
Yes,
more-
yes. I mean, that's how we got into it because of the need in the early 90s, and that's still there,
Okay.
right? So we've done a lot of that. And then the other thing that's been interesting for this group here is based on doing this around the globe, we have all this network of partners in certain areas, right? Like we do a lot of it ourselves. We have partners in parts of the world where we can't go. And so it's, logistics, geospatial content, access to people and information that this community is interested in, right? So the control is a big piece of that, but then, people that we have around the globe that we trust and we've worked with for 30 years can source that data.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as we wrap up, is there any other items that you'd like to bring up to our audience about who you are as companies, and just how do people reach back out to you? But let's start with that first part.
With CompassCom?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
With both of us. We're in Denver, like I said, both companies, and either Hayden and I represent both of the companies.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just excited to be in Orlando this week and part of the GEOINT show.
Great.
Yeah, and I guess for just a closing message from us is we have accurate geospatial data, right? We're certified with our ISO procedures processes, and we've got a lot of content that is related to accuracy, and we want to share it with this group here, like we have been for years. But yeah.
And one final question on that, as you bring up accuracy and large data to share, how much data do you have that covers, and what's your coverage look like?
Yeah, so that would be a longer conversation, but we do have,
Okay.
because they're points, right? But we have 100 and some countries, I think like 105 countries where we have this data, the ground control point data specifically. So yeah, that's our coverage. We have people around the globe that we work to get more data when we need it, and we're actively building upon that database based on our customers' projects, and adding more and more content to it.
75,000 plus GCPs around the globe today,
That's incredible. That's awesome. And
available off the shelf.
wow. Okay. Well, I thank you for giving me insights to who CompassCom and Compass Data is, it's a pleasure meeting you both and seeing you here at the GEOINT Symposium.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
I'm Adam Simmons with Project Geospatial. We'll talk to everybody next time.